Hello and welcome to Travel Beans. I'm Emma, behind the camera is Alex, and today we're exploring Luxembourg.
You don't realise how hard it is to have no one on that bridge.
Oh, there we go.
5 years ago, we did a road trip around Europe with friends, where Alex proposed and we started our YouTube channel. Now, on our first trip since lockdown, we've grabbed our masks and are heading back to the place that we got engaged in Czech Republic, making some new memories along the way.
In the last video, we talked about how we were going to test out our solar shower for the first time, which is essentially just a black bag that you fill with water, you leave in the sun for a few hours to warm up, and then you can have a shower. We left it there overnight in the hope that this morning it would be nice and warm, but there's no chance of that happening because ever since about 7 AM, people have slowly started turning up, and in the last half an hour, it's getting kind of busy here. There's teenagers just turning up from every direction.
And I do not want to be someone to shower naked in front of teenagers again.
Again.
Can't get off a list easily.
God.
I'm not on a list.
No, just in case you're wondering.
We looked everywhere for a perfect shower in a bag spot.
It was harder than it seems.
It was a little bit harder this morning, and we decided we were just going to push on through to Luxembourg and decided to splash out on a campsite. So we've given up on the shower in a bag idea for now, but don't be too disappointed. Keep watching this series. We will shower out of a bag at some point.
Yeah, it's inevitable, right?
So we're now in Luxembourg and we've come to a place called Mullerthal, which is dubbed Little Switzerland. Now, if you're long-term subscribers of ours, you'll know that I have a problem with places being called Little Something, and I've gone on rants before because it's always a Little Venice or a Little Switzerland, and we even have a video on our channel of Little Switzerland, but it's from England. It's called Little Switzerland because I guess it resembles a bit like Switzerland, and I always laugh that places have to be like Little Something. Mullerthal itself looks a very, very nice place. It's 100 kilometers of trekking with waterfalls, woods. So we have stopped here. There is an iconic bridge with a waterfall that we really want to see, and luckily for our little lazy selves we can park relatively close and then go on a little hike. So that is the first order of the day. Then later on we will show you our campsite.
I think that nature is just a big fat reset button for everything. Like, I feel like I'm bathing in nature right now. I feel just completely washed of any kind of stress from like the normal world, which is just great, especially during this pandemic. When I walk through forests especially, I love just noticing little textures and leaves and patterns around. And something that I've just noticed that I've not actually seen before is where the light is reflecting on the water, trickling down the river, is actually reflecting onto the leaves up here and shimmering on the leaves.
Didn't know Luxembourg was full of green. Maybe it's relatively obvious, but I kind of just think of it as like a place, like a tax haven. So it's just a city where people work and the bankers all kind of hide and throw money at each other. But here,
like pillow fights, but with money.
But with money, it's for rich people's pillow fights.
Money.
But there's a little tip that I've discovered on my travels, and this will be the third time I'm going to recommend it. If you get really hot,
no, not
you know
again.
what's coming.
Not again.
If you get really hot, it's really simple. You find like a nice lovely rock like this, one of these surfaces, and you should probably just, you just put your face on it and it cools you down straight away. Lovely.
This is it. This is the famous bridge that we really wanted to come and see. It looks like something out of Hobbiton. It's beautiful. There definitely should be a troll underneath there.
Maybe make your way down there?
Mate. The thing I really love about this bridge, apart from like the individual little rocks that make it up, is all of the little plants that you've got growing in between the rocks. You've got little ferns, you've got wild raspberries, you've got all sorts of things. It's so nice, it's so interconnected with nature.
The actual town here of Mullerthal isn't that interesting.
It's pretty small.
Tiny.
There's like 5 places here.
But the thing that makes it so interesting is the most hench hen or rooster that you've ever seen in your life. What is it?
There's even feathers on its feet. Is that normal?
The video
is it the equivalent of having hairy feet as a human?
The video's not showing you for how big this is, but
maybe. Oh, there you go. You can see it. Compare it to the other chickens.
look at the size. That one on the left is a normal chicken. It's like it's been eclipsed by this other chicken.
Everywhere that we've walked along this route, there have been wild raspberries, and I think I might actually have to try one. I'll get one at the back. Look at that, perfect little raspberry. That's really good. That's literally like a raspberry you'd buy from Waitrose. Waitrose because it's a slightly nicer raspberry than like.
And for the Americans?
Whole Foods.
Instead of Walmart.
Instead of Walmart. Oh, the ground is so soft.
I'll hold you.
Okay. You need to get closer. Don't you dare let go.
Is this the most wholesome thing we've ever done on our channel?
Probably.
What the hell is this thing? I've just seen it's this like stuff from nightmares. Come here. What is this?
Oh. We are now back at the campsite with some ciders, cooking up some dinner off the back here. So we're making some, well, meatball spaghetti.
Vegetarian meatballs.
Vegetarian meatballs, yes, thank you very much, Linda McCartney. So we're out here, minding our own business, sipping a cider, and the weirdest thing's happening. So there's quite a few people around us, but there's a couple down the end that have an owl, like an actual owl.
And they're training it?
That they own, and they're throwing it back and forth to each other. I've never seen anyone with an owl, apart from like at bird sanctuaries or something, but just a couple on holiday with their pet owl. It's really odd. Some of you at home might be wondering, how safe is it to stay at campsites around Europe at the moment? If this one is anything to go by, I would say pretty safe. Obviously, staying at home is the safest option, but if you want to go out and travel, this campsite's great. We have a 10 by 10 meter pitch here, which is as socially distant, I think, as you can get in a campsite. It's pretty great.
Also, of course, if you've got a tent or a camper van, like, you are self-isolating, so it's not
massively.
a hotel room that loads of people are going in.
No. And although, you know, generally at campsites people are very chatty and very friendly, but everyone's keeping their distance. It's really good. They have an on-site shop and reception area where masks are mandatory, and the facilities they have showers, toilets, washing up areas, things like that. All of them are cleaned regularly. Every time we go in, it is sparkling. I couldn't feel safer right now, I think. For example, the washing up facilities, they have every other sink actually barricaded off, so you can't even use them. So really, the closest you're going to be to someone whilst even washing your dishes is a good 2 meters away. The reason we chose the camper van as the way to travel is because for us, it felt like the safest option. That teamed with getting the Eurotunnel, having hardly any contact with anyone the whole way through, and the wild camping, of course, is always going to be the most isolated, but now even staying at a campsite I feel safe. So really, this has been the perfect trip so far, post-COVID, whilst feeling safe. So if any of you have an itch to travel, for us, this is the perfect way to do it.
After dinner, we had an impromptu live stream, which was a blast. Thanks, guys, for joining.
Great time.
If you did join. And then, after going to bed, we left the campsite to come and find a local Luxembourg town. But Luxembourg only has 500,000 people in the whole country, so the little towns
are very little.
Very, very small, just a couple of restaurants. But we went looking for some food this morning, and I have found something that I'm very excited to show you. In the local bakery, I was recommended to try this, which is a pastry with inside has fish and like a white wine sauce. I'm excited to try it, but there's this like jelly-like substance in the middle that kind of puts me off. I'm going to poke it and confirm if it's jelly or not. Oh, it's very jelly-like.
Oh no, what if it's like a pork pie?
My mind is closing as we talk. I was excited to try it, and now I'm like, oh damn, how do I get out of this? And I've just realised how phallic this is for when I'm about to bite it. No, none of you dirty mind people, I'm just going to try it.
You have to do it in that way.
As I bit into it, and I could see it, my heart sank because there is a thick layer of jelly going around the outside.
Oh no!
And if anyone's seen my pork pie video about England, I hate jelly in food like this, especially savoury.
Meaty
I hate
jelly.
it. So I was really worried as I bit it, and then I was expecting a really strong flavour of fish to come through, and I think that would have sealed the deal, and I think I might have been a little bit sick. That never came. It was really nice. Having already eaten it, and I think it's nice, I don't know if I can go in for a second bite because of the jelly.
I see, so it's nice aside from the jelly.
The jelly doesn't taste of anything. It's literally the look that bothers me. Like that thick bit of jelly there, I can't look at it. I can't get over the mental barrier. It was alright when it was like this, because I just bite it in, could be anything, happy surprise. But
happy surprise. I've gone for something a little less jelly-like. Yeah, it smells sweet. Oh, that smells good.
does smell
Shove
good.
your nose into it.
Smells like shortbread.
Yeah, it smells like shortbread. There were tons of them in the bakery, so I'm guessing it's something that they specialise in, and that's good enough for me. It's literally like a shortbread cake. Like a little bit of cake covered in shortbread. Like all the crumbs here are like shortbread crumbs. I really like it, although it makes me wish I had a coffee to dunk it in.
So that's it for our time in Luxembourg.
And luckily, when we have our own van, we'll actually be able to spend a lot more time in places. But on this trip, we only have the van for 2 weeks, so we have places to see, places to go. And
People to see?
No people to see.
There's a virus.
But our next stop is Germany, so if you would like to be notified of those videos, make sure you hit that notification bell and, of course, subscribe.
Give us a like and leave in the comments what's the smallest country you've ever been to. And what's the best potluck food you've ever bought? And how gross is jelly? And nothing left to say, apart from to get rid of. That's the last time you're going to see her. Until next video, thank you very much for watching. See you next time, and beans out!
Next time on Travel Beans.
You are joining us as we are literally crossing the border from Luxembourg to Deutschland now.